Hi everyone. I am here with my friend Zoe. She lives in Paris and she is here in town visiting family for the holidays and messaged and wanted to come over and say hi, and so I asked her to come and talk with me about something we're both very passionate about, which is postpartum care. So I know she feels like me in that it's kind of a lost, forgotten part of pregnancy and birth and womanhood.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of time that we prepare so much for the coming of the baby and baby showers, and then the mother though after birth, and really taking care of the mother, because she's the family unit. She's what's gonna make the family her mental health, her physical health. This is so important for the family to have a thriving family rather than surviving in some way.
Yeah, and it seems all too often that all of a sudden the baby gets here and it's just all about the baby, and we forget about this whole unit that needs to be cared for. So what are the kind of things, like when you're working with your clients, what are the type of things that you're focused on in the postpartum recovery period?
I think a lot of times, like we, especially as this midwife, Raquel Seglia Garcia, she likes to talk about, we have such this like nuclear family unit where we're so isolated and we're so separated from our communities. And so how do we create our communities? How can we give that support to the mother, whether that's family coming over, whether that's having your friends come over, but taking care of maybe the household, maybe taking care of like food, rather than wanting to pick up the baby. And because really the mother, that's her time, that's her bonding time with her child. And yeah, exactly this. And I think, with the CDC, they say that about 20% is postpartum depression. People have postpartum depression. And that's for self-reporting women.
Right.
And that does not account for unself-reporting women. That does not account for miscarriages or abortions. And so we believe that this might be a little bit higher. This percentage might be higher. And maybe women are ashamed to talk about it as well. And so this community support and witnessing almost like this mother into her new transition, I think is so crucial. To be witnessed through to this acknowledgement of being in this new body.
Sure.
Because it's the same body, but it's no longer the same body. And really being honored and dignified in that.
Sure.
Yeah,
no, absolutely. I remember all of those things when I had my first, because I wasn't in the career that I'm in now. I didn't work and study and know about these things. And I remember I didn't even recognize that I was struggling because I was struggling.
Sure.
And nobody said anything to me, and I struggled for a long time. And I had no idea that my body was going to not go back to what it was before. I remember like packing pre-pregnancy clothes to go home in and crying in the bathroom because they wouldn't fit me. And
Sure.
I just thought, like, nobody talked to me about preparing for after. And I was so caught off guard.
Sure.
So as somebody who lives between two countries, what are the different things that you see culturally?
Yeah, that's different. Is in France, they have 16 weeks where they're able to have paid leave, both either paternal or maternal, and that can be actually combined. So it could be 6 weeks for the father, 6 weeks for the mother, or it can be combined 16 weeks for the mother. And so it's really up to the family. But the U.S. is the only industrialized nation that does not have any maternity paid leave.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
And that makes this work even more crucial for families and for community this need for community is so important and so crucial for the mother, because she doesn't have that support or can't get that support, and maybe has to go to work as soon as she has her baby. So stepping in different ways into whether that's paid or not, and recognizing if a friend even has a child, how can you offer your support, how can you offer your help.
And it's so much harder here because I mean, I know most people don't even really know their neighbors anymore. You know, when years ago everybody watched everybody else's kids in the neighborhood, like you know, everybody had dinners together and looked out for each other, and it's very hard to maintain a sense of community in this day and age when we live such busy, kind of disconnected lives. I know just last week I ran into somebody who had just had a baby, and I knew her prior to having her baby, and she just had blaring signs of some perinatal mood issues, like just almost to the point that it was dangerous, and nobody around her saw it. And so I said, this is not normal. What you are experiencing is not normal, but it's easily corrected, and let's talk to your midwife about what's going on, you know. So it's so important that we understand what postpartum should look like and have enough concern and love for the women around us that we say if something's not right. I think we're all so scared to like say something.
Absolutely.
You know, we're scared
of feeling it because I'm strong and, you know, like I have this, and of course you have to ask for help. I think I think this is normal sometimes for women to maybe not feel like she wants to ask for that support or wants to ask for that help. When we are the ones that are constantly givers, you know, we're constantly giving.
We're the caregivers, and we also fight so hard for equality. You know, as well, that it is very, very difficult. To ask for help.
But I love how you said about this normalization. It's and normalizing. Right. We have normalized postpartum depression or perinatal mood disorders when, in fact, instead of taking care of it as a diagnosis until after this has happened, we need to be taking care of it preventatively. We need to be taking care of this during the prenatal time. So really try to find that time and the information and community before you have your child prenatally, and go to these postpartum workshops or classes along with your childbirth classes so that you can prepare and be prepared for when postpartum time comes. I think this is really crucial, so that because it's going to deplete you when you're in that postpartum time, and trying to find help then, because it's starting to make your stress levels go up. You know, and the oxytocin, what you need for your baby, and that bonding is going down. So preparing for this, I think, is the most important thing too for postpartum time as well.
I agree. Thank you for coming and talking with me about this. It's something that's really important to me, just personally, because of my experiences, and then, you know, dealing with clients with you know, a number of different things that you see as you work in this career for years. So, and it's nice to have perspective from somebody who is not just strictly working inside the U.S., you know. So,
and I also wanted to say too and how can we support this almost in terms of like paid support, because it is, you know, you are paying for this type of service. And I think a lot of times too is when we're maybe, you know, giving clothes or giving these things for the new baby that's coming, we can also be putting aside money for postpartum care. So if you have a friend or family who's pregnant, this is a perfect time to give that gift. So that that's the most, I think that's the most beautiful gift,
a gift of service.
Of self-care for the mother. I mean, that's what
amazing.
I would love. You know, I think we all would want that for that.
It's fun to buy the cute outfits and the this and that, but it's we really need to start being more focused on service and the loving gifts of time, right? Because time is so fleeting with our children, and taking care of our bodies while we can, you know, we don't want to lose that.
Totally.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.